It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this one's theme is called Motorfest Selection, and this is my summit guide. Let's go! Real quick before I get into it, I am actually out of the country, so I apologize about the quality of this video. I am recording on a Blue Yeti as opposed to my XLR mic, and the clips were captured on my 1080p monitor from my laptop, so it's a little bit funky on the quality. Apologize, but I will be back home next week. All right, let's get into it. So the cars for this week's bundle are the Hoonigan Porsche 911 Turbo RWB, the Porsche 911 Director's Cut Edition, Porsche 918 Spider Silvery Edition, and you're gonna need a few additional vehicles. I recommend the Agera R for hypercar, but you can choose to use a different hypercar if you're more comfortable with it. The Agera R is just the fastest. You also need the Porsche 993 Street Car and the RB14 Disruption Edition with a Scorebreaker set of parts with Skilled and Pure as your affixes. Then you're gonna need a 1414 Demon with Scorebreaker as your part set and Skilled and Pure as your affixes. And then finally a drag car of choice with a Nitrochemist set with Pure and Frenetic. All right, the key to this summit is actually just not overdriving. It's very easy on most of these courses to overdrive these courses. Just calm down, take the turn a little bit slower, and you're actually going to be going faster because you have a high chance of losing control. All right, let's get into the pro settings. All right, the first event is called Driven by Dreams, and this is actually the reward, the platinum reward for this week is this loaner car, this Taycan Porsche Turbo S. It's actually pretty nice. Anyways, this first turn, you're gonna have to brake early because the car doesn't slow down very fast. Now, you're not really gonna be using a ton of NOS on this first lap because you want it to build up and then be able to use it throughout the second lap as well. So across the golf course here, and you cut through that alley, slow down very hard for this corner. Make sure you don't hit that wall. As you're going through here, you can use a little bit of control to try not to hit these walls, but if you do, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just try to hit the side of the car. As you notice, I did do a little bit of a wall tap there. And then control on this turn as well. Slow down early, turn in early. There's another cut to the left of this sign. Make sure you're not hitting any walls. Again, control on this course is everything. Notice I'm not really going that fast. This NOS power has a ton of power for this car, so just use it. You know, every once in a while you're going to be tapping the NOS to keep this car going. Notice my NOS going down. It's just, you know, very, very powerful for this car. Anyways, that's the full lap. Those are the cuts. Go to the next one. All right, next up we have a race called Good Design Should Be Honest, and for this one I recommend the Agera R, but like I said in the intro, if you have another car that you like using instead, use that, but this Agera is definitely going to get you the best results. So this first part is there's nothing really tricky about it. You just need to get to top speed without using your NOS too much. In fact, I wouldn't use any NOS until you get past this left-hand sweeper. This course is all about keeping speed. You just want to try to be as smooth as possible, and then you can use your NOS once you pass the left hand. So again, right hand there, no issues. There's going to be a small cut here. You're going to cut left, slow down, go next to the building. This is exactly the Grand Race path there. Then make sure you're ready for this cut on the right here. You can go through the barriers. Accelerate through. You don't need to use all your NOS, but try to get as close to top speed as possible. You can cut this corner on the left if you're having trouble making it. I was. Then it's full speed through this ramp. Obviously, don't touch walls. Then a slight slowdown for this corner, because you will understeer it if you're not careful, and NOS to the finish. Pretty simple. All right, let's move on. All right, the next event is called Bug Killer, and you're going to be using the Hoonigan Porsche. This one, the car is a little bit slippy, so you're gonna have to really pay attention to throttle control in some of these corners. I recommend just half throttling in places where you feel like you're losing grip. That way the car just sort of recovers and gets your grip back. So anyways, let's fast forward to the tricky spots. We'll go straight to the cuts. All right, here at 24%, you're gonna cut left across the field. Try to avoid the poles if possible. Get back on the road and then use your NOS to get back to top speed. You can use a lot of it here if you need to. Then you're gonna cut to the left here through these little barriers, not through the brick wall, but through the barriers. And then when you get through it, it'll be a brick wall on the other side. But when you cut through the first part, it'll be like a, board wall or something like that. All right, when you get up here to 50%, you're gonna cut left and reset or just smash the wall, either one. I actually, on this attempt, was trying to hit the rock to jump over the wall. That's another cut that I was able to do with some faster cars. For this one, I really didn't have the time to grind that out. That shortcut is extremely difficult to hit. But if you can, there's a little rock there, jump over the wall and skip it. This part here is at 60%. You're gonna cut to the right of the barrier, go through the trees, try to go towards that next checkpoint. You can kind of see it there in the distance. Stay really close to this wall. You have to hug it in order to get the checkpoint. Then get to 4th or 5th and NOS down this hill. Air NOS works really well with Street 2 vehicles. Cut across the grass here, across the grass there, back on the road, across the grass here, and then back on the road. Try not to extend like that. I was not trying to go into the grass on the left there. Gutter turn back to back. And then another gutter turn here at 89%. And then this is where you kind of have a choice to make. You can actually go straight through those arrow signs there. You can take the dirt and then go through the trees and drop back down onto the road. However, I found that, especially with this car that oversteers quite a bit, as long as you hit the gutters, you can actually go a little bit faster by taking the street. So I hit the gutter here, and then this one is unnecessary, but this one is definitely necessary. I kind of drove through it and tapped the wall, but even that was faster than my previous times. So I strongly recommend going around, but going through the dirt is a much easier route. So choose that if you need to. Let's move on. All right, the next event is called Faster Than Schnell. And this race could be frustrating for a lot of you. It does take some skill to get through some of these gutter turns, but I'll just talk about some things that are important. There's a few different shortcuts, and all of them require something slightly different from you. So let's take a look here. This one, I brake and then cut across the right side here and the right side of this checkpoint. Try to stay in 4th and NOS when you get out. Right here at 19%, you need to cut far right as you can. Try to get back on the road soon. This will help you get to top speed a little bit faster. Right here at 38%, I hit the wall. I did not mean to do that, but you want to try to grab that gutter. I just had trouble slowing down from the high speed section just before. This one, you don't have to hit the gutter there as long as you hit the correct line, but guttering might be easier there. And then this one, it's double downshift into really heavy braking to try to get to this gutter here. The 993 is not the best braking car, but it works really good for this course because it accelerates very hard with NOS. Again, gutter turn there, and then you'll go straight to the checkpoint and reset. Make sure you're turning right after the reset so you don't go into the grass. Gutter turn here. And then when you get to the bottom of this hill, stay right, and then cut back left. And make sure you're cutting to the left of this flag really hard, because if not, you're just going to extend into the grass on the right side. Aside from that, it's pretty much just your driving skills. Stay on the road, use your NOS, make sure you're at top speed as much as you can. Actually, I take that back. There is one last cut through the parking lot here at about 83 or 84%. Let me see. Oh, just kidding. It's at 86%. 87%, 88%. Cut through the parking lot there on the right. And that's it. You're home free. All right, let's go. All right, the next event is called Rocket Science. And this one was maybe the most frustrating event in, actually not maybe, definitely the most frustrating event in this summit. There's just a lot that has to happen in order for you to get a good time. And to be honest with you, my time is really not even optimized. So I'm just gonna show you some of the important gutter turns and also the shortcut that's in this one, which again is very, very frustrating. All right, coming up on this really high speed turn, you're gonna have to take it super inside and hit the dirt a little because this car does understeer. So make sure you do that. And then This turn is pretty easy, no problems there. This turn, you can cut a little bit to the inside. To help you make the turn, you're gonna have to slow down or downshift or both. Then on this turn at 44%, you can cut the corner just a little bit just to keep your speed. Cut the corner on the right here at 48%, again, just to keep your speed. And then you'll do the same thing here at 57%. Cut that corner, stay to the right. When you get down to this one, you're gonna brake and downshift and make sure you hit this gutter. This is a very important gutter turn for this course. All right, this checkpoint at about 76 or 77% is where the shortcut is going to frustrate you. So when you get here, you're gonna cut to the right and go up the hill. There's really not a clear visual. I had a really tough time finding the line through here. And the line that I took is definitely not like the most optimal line, but I survived enough to make the clip. But basically your visual cue is going to be these tents right here on the right, these little pop-ups. You're gonna go through that area. So I think the best place, if I slow this down a little bit, the best place really would have been to the right here. So I think to the right of this really would have been a lot nicer than what I did. But I ended up bouncing off the tree and going through the line that I'm talking about. So see how there's like a, nice line through these trees on the right? I should have been in this line to begin with. I just didn't cut in early enough. Now this visual cue is important as well. This bush at the top of the hill, you want to make sure you stay to the right a little bit. So point your car to the right, and then you can air nos through. And that rejoins you with the road, and you'll be on your way. And that's basically it for this course. All right, this last event is called Rick Martinez's Favorite, and it's with this 911 Director's Cut Porsche. This one's very tough. The car is very rear end happy. It likes to oversteer, it likes to lose traction in the rear, so you're gonna have to exercise a lot of throttle control around this turn. So this first turn, you're gonna be at half throttle basically the entire time in third or fourth gear, whichever you felt is more comfortable. But basically, you're gonna need to control your speed. So notice on this lap, I'm holding about 75 when I get to the middle of the turn, but quickly you can get back up into the 80s. Now, when you come out of the turn, you're gonna cut through this little section on the trees, go towards the checkpoint and reset. Once you reset and you're coming out of it, make sure you're turning to the left a little bit, not like super hard, but make sure you turn to the left. You can get going on the next lap. And that, my friends, is the entire lap. This is the worst event in the game. It's terrible, and they always make us do it with a street car, and it's just so frustrating. Anyways, that's it for this one. Let's move into the feats. All right, here are the 3 feats. They're very straightforward. The first slalom is best going forward. The buoy smashing is super easy as long as you have the parts. You need score breaker with skilled and pure. And then lastly, for this speed trap, I just recommend going in the opposite direction. So anyway, enjoy these feats, and then I'll return with the final scores. All right, here are my final scores. Again, if you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I will answer as soon as I possibly can, although that may not be for a day or so. So be patient there, but I do read every single message that comes my way, and I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this has helped, and hopefully you guys are able to earn the car this week. I really want to see as many of you guys watching the video get that car as possible. So do me a favor, when you're done watching the video and you're done optimizing your runs, drop your score in the comments. I'm very interested to see exactly how good you guys are doing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Figure out.